Hello? Is anybody out there? It's Sunday night. It's Sunday night, and I thought we were gonna have a Pucknology Writers Room. Where is everybody? Where's Drew? Where's Ian? I'm really confused. Good evening. It's Sunday, December 25th, and I am Kevin Lacy, and this is not Pucknology Writers Room. Because, folks, I have a little bit of time to just talk about hockey because, you know what? That's what I love. And the fact that those of you who watch our show week after week and take your time out of your lives to listen to us ramble about hockey, that is awesome. And we love you guys for that. And so I just kind of figured that since I love talking about hockey and there are apparently some people who actually enjoy listening to me ramble, heck, I feel like rambling. So let's do it. Pucknology Writers Room, but not really. I mean, hey, if the Writers Room could hijack Pucknology After Dark last Sunday, I can hijack the Writers Room this evening. So I am at Kevin Lacy. Joining me on the panel is nobody, but I am going to talk about Jaromir Jagr becoming the second see, I'm already messing up. This is why I need Ian here. I can't even do my own intro correctly without the support of my broskies. But anyway, Jaromir Jagr became the second highest scoring forward player in the history of the National Hockey League this week, folks. It was quite a sight to behold. And oh my goodness, I actually have people in the chat. I was only gonna pretend like this is happening, but apparently this is happening, folks. Yes, I am really going to talk about hockey. So thank you, Mike Nevis. Thank you, M. Hackle. Thank you, Chris JWS. And I don't know who this other person is who's in here, but thank you for watching. This is unbelievable. So anyway, let's just jump into it here. Jaromir Jagr, like I mentioned, became the second leading scorer all time in the National Hockey League. He now has 1,889 points. And if you saw his interview on the ice after he scored, he said, "The puck hit my ass and it went in," and the light turned on. Well, it hit his ass and went to Alexander Barkov. But regardless, pretty awesome no matter how you go about it. Jaromir Jagr, I salute you. One of the greatest forwards of all time. You know, folks, if you can ever go out and see the Florida Panthers play live, the Panthers have already come into San Jose, into SAP Center this season. So unless the Sharks and Panthers are playing each other in the finals this season, you won't be able to see Jaromir. But I don't think this is his last season, folks. So make sure you see this guy live. You know, when you get these great, outstanding heroes of hockey in your building, you have to see them. Whether you like them or you don't, you have to go and see them. And we live in this era where there are so many superstars. If you look at the top leading scorers of the National Hockey League all time, a lot of them are in the generation that is either current or just ended, like Joe Sakic, Steve Yzerman, Mario Lemieux, Wayne Gretzky. Like a lot of these guys we got to watch in our lifetimes, and that is outstanding. So get out any way you can to see these players while you have an opportunity, because you can reflect back later in life and go, man, I remember seeing that guy not score against the Sharks. But yeah, it's just fantastic. And we'll see where he ends up next season, because, you know, Vegas is coming in. We discussed a few weeks ago on the Writers Room about whether or not Jaromir Jagr would be a Vegas Golden Knight next season. I still don't think so. They even discussed that on Sportsnet this week, and I just don't see it happening. But we'll see. Jaromir is going to continue to play, and hey, he might become only the second player to ever score 2,000 points, because the way he's going, yeah, he's the Santa Claus of the National Hockey League at this point, folks. He's got a lot of gray in his beard, but that guy is still a productive player. And he just passed Mark Messier, and yeah, Jagr is older than Messier, but he did it in fewer games, which is quite a feat. So 2,000 points, it won't happen this season. It probably won't happen next season, but if he gets 2 more full seasons in the NHL, you might see it happen. Speaking of the Florida Panthers, Vincent Viola, the owner of the Panthers, we've talked a lot about how their management team is just all in shambles from dating back to March. And I'm not going to get into a political debate about this. I'm just going to stick to it. Vincent Viola, the owner of the Panthers, was named the Secretary of the Army to the future President of the United States, Donald Trump's cabinet. Okay. All right. I'm just going to leave it at that. Okay. Another strange hockey news that's been happening. If you are a team that joined the league in the year 2000, you are on a double-digit winning streak right now. The Columbus Blue Jackets have a 12-game winning streak. The Minnesota Wild have a 10-game winning streak. What is going on? For real, like Columbus. Remember at the start of the year, folks, when we were talking about, well, even before the year, when we were talking about John Tortorella, what a tire fire he is coaching Team USA in the World Cup. Oh my God, this guy should have been out of hockey years ago. He's so awful. No, apparently he seems to have finally, gotten the Blue Jackets into shape. It took a year and a couple months, but my goodness, the first team to 50 points in the league are the Columbus Blue Jackets. We all thought, or most of us, I know I did, thought the Blue Jackets were going to just roll through the Eastern Conference last year. It didn't happen at all. But now all of a sudden, seemingly out of nowhere, it's happening. And then the Minnesota Wild, a team that this year I picked to completely fail miserably. They are like 21-8, I believe, something along those lines. Their record is astonishing, and you got to give Devan Dubnyk credit. We saw it 2 years ago where Devan Dubnyk just got traded to the Wild basically for free and started, what did he start? 33 games in a row, something ridiculous like that. But he got the Wild in the playoffs, was a Vezina finalist, if I recall correctly. And he's doing it again. So here's a guy who nobody wanted, and now he's pretty much cementing himself as one of the top goalies in the league. And I never would have thought that for Devan Dubnyk. The Oilers probably didn't think it, and the Nashville Predators damn sure didn't believe Devan Dubnyk could be that guy. Now, folks, thank you all for joining the chat. I am trying to keep up with it, but I am the one-man show here because, folks, Hey, this is your fault for watching. You guys got me tonight, and sorry. But anyway, you're going to get a lot of just stupidity on this show. Now, I was talking about the Columbus Blue Jackets here. We also, a few weeks ago, did our kind of expansion draft, mock draft. I'm sure we'll do a couple more here throughout the season. I got lit up a little bit because I said that Cam Atkinson would be claimed by the Golden Knights in the expansion draft. Now, let me preface this first by saying it's not that Cam Atkinson is not a good player. Cam Atkinson, I know it has a tremendous amount of skill, but the reason why I had him exposed at the time was because the Blue Jackets have to protect David Clarkson at this present moment. David Clarkson and his $5-something million contract, sitting there on IR, not playing any games, and they have to protect that guy. And so they basically are going to be forced, unless they can move Clarkson out of Columbus, they will be forced to expose someone of very high value. At the time, I said Cam Atkinson would be that guy. Now, I don't have the stats in front of me. I probably should have done a little bit more preparation, but again, this is really off the cusp. But Cam Atkinson has like 95 points in the last 3 weeks since we made these mock draft lists, so to speak. So, yeah, Cam Atkinson's not going anywhere anymore, but stay tuned to the Blue Jackets on the trade front, because they are not going to be happy with trade or with losing someone for free to Las Vegas. Now, one last bit of news here that happened today, I believe, yesterday or today. Jhonas Enroth. I do not know why we cannot stop talking about this guy. I don't know if maybe it's because a lot of Sharks fans wanted Jhonas Enroth to be the backup goalie for Martin Jones this year, and it's just had this trickle-down effect where we cannot get his name out of our heads or something. But the Maple Leafs are certainly doing a good job of keeping him in the news. Jhonas Enroth, after being waived and basically shoved out the door worse than Gerard Gallant in Florida, has been recalled by the Toronto Maple Leafs. Don't know what's going on there. I mean, they probably figure Antoine Bibeau sitting on the bench every game is probably not going to do him wonders for his development and becoming an NHL goalie. But so much for Kari Ramo, another goalie that Sharks fans seem to want to pick up. And basically, Kari Ramo has been on a pro tryout. Not basically, he has been on a pro tryout with the Toronto Marlies. But basically, he has been a CHL goalie. And I don't mean like Canadian juniors. I mean like the Central Hockey League. Because this goal light has been lighting up all the freaking time behind Kari Ramo in the AHL. He's been giving up nearly 4 goals per game in his 3 starts. He's winless. His save percentage is 88%. Folks, that's below Alex Stalock level. And we know how poor Alex Stalock was last year in Teal. And then, actually, ironically, for the Marlies. So, yeah, I guess now Toronto will be kissing Jhonas Enroth's behind the rest of the season before he ends up walking to Sweden. I don't know what's going to happen there. I'm sure they'll just send him to the minors next week so that we can talk about him all over again. I want to also move on with our next segment. So last week, Christine, actually it was a couple weeks ago, but last week Christine had sent in a question asking us for our holiday wish list. Now, today is Christmas. It's a little bit too late for holiday wishes, but funny enough, I asked for NHL.TV to stop crashing on me every 15 minutes. And lo and behold, my Christmas wish was granted, because 2 days later, PlayStation Store released an updated app that no longer freezes on me, so I can actually watch the hockey games now. And so in order to replace that on my list, I have a few more things that I would like to let's see. All right, let's see what do we have on here. So first off, of course, as you already know, I want to be the new public address announcer for the San Jose Barracuda, effective immediately. If not, I'll accept some kind of stat tracking role, because, for example, why are there no face-off stats listed on the AHL website? Why do they keep track of time on ice and not release it to the public, for example? So, hey, there's 2 more wishes right there. I wish for Patrick Marleau to finish his career as a Shark. I wish for Randy Hahn and Brody Brazil to follow me on Twitter at Kevin Lacy 22. Use the hashtag #WeAreAllKevin. I wish for people to stop complaining that role players don't belong in the NHL. Michael Haley and Tommy Wingles, yeah, okay, not the high-end guys, but not everybody needs to score 40 goals, because if everybody scored 40 goals, the Sharks would have won 25 Stanley Cups by now, right? You have to have these guys who are specialists in certain areas. So if Michael Haley is going to be an agitator, go out there and agitate. We just saw what happened with Zach Kassian in that awesome game against the Edmonton Oilers the other night. He got all up under his skin, ducking, bobbing, weaving, and knocking the freaking guy out. I almost swore, but it's Christmas, so I'm trying to keep our rating down at G or whatever. But anyway, yeah, I mean, guys like that, okay. I definitely agree that role players should have more than 4 minutes of ice time per night, for example. How do you guys feel about that? I mean, do you guys think that the role players, too much is made up of the role players, or is there a need for them? I'd like to hear about that. Send in your questions for the real Pucknology Writers Room next Sunday, for example. I wish for the Sharks to start legitimately selling out their games again. I wish that the Sharks management would get more in touch with their fan base regarding how they really feel and find out why they don't sell out their games anymore. Let's see here. I wish for more guests to appear on Pucknology Writers Room. I mentioned Tommy Wingles. I wish for a new Tommy Wingles game use stick because some freaking guy took a dive right on my stick and snapped it in half. Woo! Great money spent there. I wish for the Nothing But Crosby National Blackhawks NBC Sportsnet or whatever they're called, to figure out that there are other teams besides the Blackhawks, Penguins, and Flyers to air. Hello, Columbus Blue Jackets, 12-game winning streak. I wish for the Oakland Raiders to not move to Las Vegas because hockey needs Vegas. They need to have some kind of spotlight that the NFL doesn't just shove them out of the way like the NHL always seems to have happened to them. Hockey needs to be the front runner in Vegas for at least the first few years, and they don't need the Oakland Raiders completely washing out all the work that they've made in that area. I wish, speaking of expansion, for example, I wish that the NHL could find a way to put teams in Seattle, Quebec City, and heck, even Saskatoon. Saskatchewan doesn't have an NHL team, obviously, and yeah, most of the cities there are small markets, but that's why I say maybe not now, but I'd like to see them find a way to make it happen. I wish then that the Nashville Predators would move to the Eastern Conference where they belong, because, hey, they are more Eastern than Columbus and Detroit, and yet they've been in the Western Conference their entire lives. Let's see what's going on with you've got dozens of no's and a yes, Chris. Who do I want as guests? Okay. Well, I've been trying to get Randall Hahn on our show. Randall Hahn has been seems to be willing to. Let's see. I don't know, Chris. You're the man with the hookup because you guys got like Jamie Baker for an interview and Jeff Merrick. Love Jeff Merrick and you guys got Brody. So hook us up with some guests here, Chris. And Mike Nevis, thank you about Patrick Marleau. You seem to be in agreement there. So I am not all by myself. I don't have the clip rolled up anymore. Let's see what else is on my list, because now at this point we're just at the rambling part of the show. I wish that Jhonas Donskoy, or what was it? Jhonas Donskoy! Puck guy can do it way better than I can. I wish that Jhonas Donskoy could have more goals. I wish that I could have a day and a night with Genie Bouchard. Yes, folks, Genie Bouchard. Let's see here. What else? I wish that the San Jose Barracuda would follow the business model of the San Antonio Rampage when it comes to ticket prices and promotions. $50 per ticket for a Barracuda game? Come on, guys. This is why, I should have had that photo pulled up. This is why for the teddy bear toss night, the arena had a whole lot of people in it, except for those $50 seats, because come on. I wish that more people would follow the announcement of, for your safety and the courtesy of others around you, The San Jose Sharks, SAP Center, and National Hockey League ask that you please do not leave or return to your seat until a stoppage in play. In addition, please refrain from leaning forward, as it may obstruct the view of those behind you. Thank you for your cooperation. I wish a lot of people would cooperate. Stop standing up and going to the concessions or the restrooms during play. It drives me nuts. Let's see here. I wish the NHL would eliminate the point given for an overtime loss. You don't get a half game in Major League Baseball for losing in 14 innings. So you don't get half what, I don't even know how the NFL does their standings, but you don't get half of whatever, half a win if you lose with 4:56 left in overtime on a field goal. So I don't understand the whole point in overtime. Shootout, okay, because shootout isn't really hockey, but in overtime, come on, make the teams earn the 2 points. Let's see, just randomly, I wish for season 2 of Stranger Things to be out on Netflix already. I wish for all of the NHL and hockey's legendary play-by-play commentators to keep their health. Like, we've had so much tragedy or near tragedy in the NHL these last couple of years. Rick Jenneret was out. He can't do road games anymore because of health ailments. Bob Miller had his quadruple bypass surgery, heart surgery. He's the Kings play-by-play announcer. Dave Strader is in the fight against cancer right now. Like, we're losing so many fantastic play-by-play announcers. It's just very sad. So I wish for their health to get better, because we don't need to be losing voices. I mean, heck, not hockey related, but we lost George Michael here. He passed away, or the announcement at least was that he passed away today. We don't need 2016, of course, the year of all these celebrities falling, and hockey is, we're hanging on to some. Gordie Howe passed away. You know, some of these players we're losing. We don't need any more, and that includes the voices of hockey. So, you know, all the best to Bob. Rick Jenneret seems to be back, but Bob and Dave, you know, we wish you the best. I wish that the NHL would start negotiating their CBA with the players tomorrow and not on August 22nd, 2019, because that's probably when they're finally going to decide, we should probably try to avoid a lockout. Get it done now, folks. I wish the I already talked about that. I wish that the NHL would suck it up and send their players to the Olympics in 2 years. Come on, same with the CBA. It's not really that hard. Do what's best for hockey, because yeah, okay, the NHL doesn't make money off the Olympics. No, they do make money off the Olympics because people watch the Olympics. And then after that, they go, oh, hockey, I remember seeing that in the Olympics. Oh, the playoffs? Oh, let me watch this. Oh, that was pretty fun. Let me go buy a ticket to it. Oh, now I'm a hockey fan, just like Tony X. Come on. The NHL, there's money to be made. Whether you're directly involved in the Olympics, you're just sending your players to the Olympics, you can make money, and that money talks, of course. So make it happen. And then last but not least, I wish that Drew Weber was not leaving Pucknology. He's my buddy. Of course, he's one of the panelists on Pucknology Writers Room. And all the best to him. He will be on next week's Writers Room on January 1st. But unfortunately, that will be his final show. And so let's throw a party, folks. I wish my buddy wasn't going. Oh, and I guess I actually have one more. I wish that Vladimir Sobotka was not 187 days away from signing with the St. Louis Blues. But at the same time, I kind of wish that he was, because that running gag I still get a lot of jollies out of for some stupid reason. And folks, let's see. What's going on in the chat here? 2020, we might have a lockout. Slushy Jake. Yeah, exactly. No more lockouts. Best Christmas movie of all time. Chris, I hate to say this. I have not seen Die Hard. And I know that's a problem. But I plan to, hopefully soon. And I know. It's a problem. But my favorite Home Alone, probably Home Alone, and if not, the Muppet Christmas Carol. I love that. I can pretty much sing all the songs. I won't sing them to you right now because I already did a little Celine Dion earlier, and it was definitely not. But anyway, let's see. Yes, Jake, Drew Weber is leaving. You're going to have to watch a couple of the writers' rooms we've had recently. For example, folks, if you were not able to watch Writers' Room last week, well, actually, there wasn't a writer's room last week, but we were all on Pucknology After Dark. You can subscribe to their channel. Of course, all of the Pucknology podcasts, vodcasts, etc. are on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and a host of other audio. I'm struggling here, guys. Help me out here. But Slushy Jake was just timed out by Chris. Well, it would not be Pucknology without that. So, oh boy. Oh, that was great. Let's see. There was. I know there was something else I was going to mention, but thank you all for watching tonight. Again, I'm just really goofing off. Although I guess I actually did talk legitimately about hockey for a while. But I hope that you all have happy holidays. Again, we will be on next Sunday at our regular time on the Pucknology Writers Room. Please subscribe to our channel if you are watching us for the very first time. Of course, tell a friend, because I know you guys are all popular outside of the Pucknology realm, and you guys have lots of connections. Heck, shoot, now that I think about it, I should have recorded this last night, because then if you celebrate Christmas, you could have gone to your family dinners this evening and said, hey, I watched this Kevin Lacy guy. He's a complete bonehead. But Drew and Ian are pretty cool on the Pucknology Writers Room. You should check that out. And then also coming up here, now that I think about it, starting tomorrow is the Junior Championship, the World Junior Championship. I don't know where it's being held this year, which that's not good. I should probably know that. But the guy you should follow is Zach Devine, at Zach Devine. It's Z-A-K-K. Actually, it's Z-A-K-K the Bear. Follow him on Twitter. He's got a lot of great content regarding the World Junior Championships. And he may actually be on the Writers Room next Sunday, January 1st again. So we'll see, because we're probably going to need to have somebody talk about the Junior Championships, because apparently I don't freaking know anything. I don't even know where it's being held. But I know Ian Reed will be on top of that as well. He is at iRead Pucknology. And let's see, Chris, diehard Muppet Chris. Hey, all right, Chris. Where's the applause thingy? Oh, shoot. See, I'm not prepared. Again, there we go. Chris has Muppet Christmas Carol in his top 3 favorite Christmas movies. Scrooged. That's another one I need to see. I've seen Groundhog Day, but we're not in February yet. So I'm getting I'm getting text, but so far it isn't get off the air, stupid. So 2017, Year of the Shark. Yes, I definitely hope so, Mike. Things are looking up and up as Sharks fans, and oh, hey, actually, I have a question to pose for all of you out there. Will Mikkel Bodker be traded at this trade deadline in February? Or is it in March? Again, I need to stop talking about stuff that I don't know what I'm talking about. Or at least don't know yet what I'm talking about. I'm sure it's in March. I'm sure it's like March 3rd or something along those lines. But will Mikkel Bodker be traded by the trade deadline? And then do you think there's going to be a lot of trading here in the NHL because of, there's a lot of talk about this might be the biggest trade deadline ever, big blowout sale because of the Vegas lockout. My personal opinion is there's going to be a lot less trading because there's going to be a lot less buyers. Everybody's going to want to be selling. who is going to want to take a contract that they have to expose in the expansion draft? Because basically 90% of the players who are acquired at the trade deadline are players you would want to keep. Playoff rentals are not nearly as common these last few years as they have in past years, past decades, whatnot. So curious to see your thoughts on that. Chris thinks next year will be the earliest that Mikhail Bodker will be traded, and I think we're right along the lines of that. And Mike Nevis says, if we sat through Martin Havlat for so long, why wouldn't we sit for Mikhail Bodker? I think that is an excellent point. See, you guys should be hosting Pucknology Writers Room and not me. But again, this isn't Pucknology Writers Room. This is just me rambling on. And now that I think about it, it is now 2 a.m. Eastern time. So when Ian Reed wakes up in the morning, he's going to go, oh, God, Kevin, what did you do? Oh, why are you? Why? And Felix Chow has joined us. Felix, I'm glad you joined us because I should probably talk about some Barracuda stuff on this podcast, because that's what we do on the Writers Room. We do talk about the Barracuda. And on Tuesday, they played a matinee 1 o'clock game against the Stockton Heat. Even I was not able to attend because I have a job that I make money at that keeps me from doing things like that. It seemed like the usual crowd of about a couple hundred people were there. I watched most of the game online. The game was pretty insane because at one point the Barracuda were out shooting Stockton 19-1, and yet the score at the end of the first period was 2-1. But the Barracuda did win that game 6-3, and Adam Haluka scored again. And I did not see his ending shot total for that game. Actually, you know what? Cuda Phil has now joined us at the perfect time for the Barracuda portion of this. Let's see. I have the box score up here somewhere. Where did it go? Or did I? Maybe I don't. But Adam Haluka had scored 6 goals on his first 17 shots in the AHL. How ridiculous is that shooting percentage, folks? He's not going to be able to maintain a 30, if I'm doing my math correctly, 36.1% shooting pace. It's pretty astronomical. But these are the kinds of players that we have to be excited about, and that's why I want people to go to the Barracuda games. While you can see these players at an affordable price for sure, not $50, but you can get in there the SAP Center for a much more affordable ticket. And hey, this Saturday night, it's New Year's Eve. Yes, most of you will be at parties and whatnot. In fact, I hope you are at parties. For me, I'm probably going to be actually at the Barracuda game and then go to a party. And there's even going to be a party after the Barracuda game at SAP Center, because if you bring your skates, you can actually, you attend the game and then you get to skate on the ice after the game. And actually what would be really cool is if some of the players would come out and skate along. You never know, it might happen. And this is why I brought up Felix Chow, because Felix, I know you got a new pair of skates. You need to be out at SAP Center Saturday night after the game so you can test those babies out. And I've actually got one more wish now that I think about it, and I hope I don't get punched for this, but I wish that Frenzy would learn how to skate. David, so let's all come out to SAP Center after the game and help Frenzy learn how to skate. Sound good, folks? That sounds good to me. So let's see. Does anyone get anybody get moved from the? You guys are hilarious. You're making me crack up here. Does anyone get moved if Tomas Hertl or when he comes back? Which, well, I'm going to go with no, because Tomas Hertl probably is going to be the trade deadline acquisition, so to speak. And I do worry about that a little bit because we brought up Martin Havlat a couple of years ago, and the Sharks were having issues that season. What was that? Was that 2012? Is that when that was? They were having issues scoring, and their whole thought was, when Martin Havlat gets back, we're going to win the cup. Oh, no. And they put all of their eggs on Martin Havlat into that basket, and they cracked in 5 games. Even though Martin Havlat did score the game-winning goal in that one win. But yeah, it just, I don't think so. I hope that the Sharks don't have that same issue with just, oh, the offense will be better when Hertl comes back. But Hertl probably will be their trade deadline acquisition. And at that point, I would assume Doug Wilson knows the salary cap a whole lot better than I do. I assume they will have enough salary cap if they wanted to acquire another player, like, say, a depth player who does have a little bit of contract on. They'll have the room for it because they have Hertl on LTIR for now. So let's see. Eastridge Mall was more concrete than it was ice. I don't believe that rink is there anymore. I think it shut down a few years ago. Actually, folks, another thing about promoting this, skate after the Barracuda game, I have skated at SAP Center before, and the ice was marvelous. I don't have the audio clip set up. I'm going to attempt to do it, but the ice was... Oh, yeah, nailed it. The ice was glorious, and we always talk about how horrible the ice is for the Sharks games and for the Barracuda games. But for us civilians, the ice is amazing. It is not Solar for America ice. It is not downtown ice in San Jose. It is primo. So it's a fun time. Plus, it's a pretty cool rush when you're skating under that Jumbotron and you just look directly up. And then, of course, you have to make sure that you don't wipe out into somebody. But just do it. It's free. Well, free plus the price of admission for a Barracuda game. But it's worth it. So get out there and do that. Sign Nick Spalling to a PTO. Well, he'll have to get out of contract with Genève Servette. or is it Beal? I can't remember. It's unfortunately I've been slacking on my Swiss hockey news and information and whatnot. And just throwing this out there, but Robert Soderlund, he puts out a lot of great European videos on Twitter. You can follow him. I believe it's just at Robert Soderlund, or you could follow EJ Raddick because he pretty much retweets all of Robert's cool videos. There was one of Sharks prospect Noah Rode in the shootout. He scored a pretty sick goal the other day. And then Nathan Gerby, we talked about him on the Writers Room at the start of the year, how he basically was so happy to be a New York Ranger. Released! He scored a pretty awesome goal for his team in Switzerland this week. That was posted on Twitter as well. Chris is an immaculate skater. I want to find this out on Saturday. I am definitely not. But, hey, if you want to come out, chat some hockey with me at the game, make fun of the public address announcer. I didn't say that. And then skate and hang out and have a good time, and then go downtown and party it up because it's New Year's. Let's go do it. I'm down. So Steve Downey Twitter rant. No, I have no time for Steve Downey. He's not even in the league anymore. And good riddance, to be honest. So this was intended to be a 10-minute just stupid me talking thing. And well, as Ian always says, the show always runs long. I don't even know how long. Oh my God, I'm at 40 minutes. Okay, I'm going to bed, or I'm not going to bed, but I'm getting offline. So thank you all for watching. Again, for those of you who just happen to see a hashtag like hockey talk or anything, and we're like, who the hell's this guy? I'm at Kevin Lacy 22. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, and pretend to like me, and everything will be glorious. So thank you all for watching. I'll be on next Sunday, January 1st, with Ian Reed, Drew Weber, possibly Zach Devine. And then, of course, the NHL schedule resumes on, I believe it is Tuesday. I had it up here. Yeah, Tuesday. The Sharks play in Anaheim at 7 p.m. So I don't know if that is an NBC Sports game or not. If it is, the Blackhawks probably play at 5, and then somehow the Sharks play at 7, which means 9:40, because the Blackhawks games always go to overtime. I don't even know if that's true. But the Sharks play on Tuesday at Anaheim, and then their weird schedule continues. They play Friday at home against Philadelphia. You can, of course, watch Pucknology After Dark with your usual crew, I would imagine. Chris, JWS of the chat this evening, he's on Pucknology After Dark. You can, if you're really in a hockey bind, go back and watch the most recent Pucknology After Dark, because that, how fun was that Oilers game? And he was on that show. It was fantastic. And yeah, so Pucknologists, of course, that's on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, a whole bunch of stuff. AJ Strong, Rocket Backhander, Hockey Jerk, and sometimes Ian Reed. And because Ian must be always. No, I love you, Ian. And then Pucknology After Dark, Pucknology Writers Room. And okay, now I'm really gone for reals. Thank you all for watching. Because that's freaking awesome. I can't believe I have a crowd here. Oh dear. Thanks for putting up with me, folks. Happy holidays, and I'll see you on Sunday. And Happy New Year. Actually, I'll see you Saturday. I'll see you Saturday at the game. Now I need to figure out how to stop this. Okay. Have a good night, guys.